It's blueberry pancake flavored with maple syrup. That's where I'm at now. Last video I was told you I was starting to quit smoking, and I'm down to 6 cigarettes a day 6 weeks later. So it's a struggle, but as you can tell, I'm in a little bit more of an upbeat mood. I got a little bit of motivation. I just did this video, and it was clocked in at like 33 minutes, and I went back to review it, and audio didn't record because my son uses this for his computer and had disconnected my mic to use his earphones, whatever. So I'm having to start over, and the end of this is very emotional, and I cried for about 10 minutes, so maybe we won't have to live through that. But I want to start with health, the way I had the last couple of videos, because I've had a very horrible last 3 or 4 months. Nothing physically has changed, other than I got a little more pep in my step as far as outlook on things. I'm still in my chair. This is the first time I've been in my wheelchair since the last video, about 6 weeks ago. I'm doing this video. It's now about 1:30 in the morning of the 30th, and I'm going to talk about some stuff that MS people are around the world, with all the groups I'm in and stuff, talk about. And I found a variation of it. It's a lot cheaper. It's a therapy, stem cell therapy. So a lot of people talk about HSCT. That is a stem cell therapy or treatment that includes chemo. They use it a lot for cancer patients, but they found that it has some benefits for MS. Unfortunately, you can't do it in the U.S., I don't believe. You go to the Cayman Islands, you go to the Virgin Islands, you go to Mexico, but it's not FDA approved here in the States. So I've been approved for, and having to shell out a lot of money for, a treatment called MSCT. Now, the words, I don't remember the first word, what it stands for, melon something. But it is also a stem cell therapy using my own stem cells, harvested out of my hip bone. Not using chemo, is put with another reactive agent to stimulate them. And then it is intravenously put into my blood system. It is put into my hands, my feet, and major muscle groups so that they can start repairing the myelin, and which is the nerve receptors and stuff that causes my muscular issues with MS. And then I get a needle up my nose into my brain sac, not into the brain, but into the brain sac. And that is to get stem cells onto the brain itself, onto the cerebral cortex, and down through the spinal column inside of your spinal fluid to start repairing nerve damage in there. It's got about a 68% success rate, so much better than a flip of a coin, but still not guaranteed that it's going to work. It is, however, my final big swing medically as to what I can do for myself. The HSCT, I've seen reports, people talking about how it costs anywhere between $90,000 to $120,000, where you go. This is only it's $11,400. And that includes, if you're out of state, 3 nights stay at a hotel. This is in Chicago. I live in Lawton, Oklahoma. It's probably about a 12-hour drive, but with me it's going to be about a 15-hour drive. And it's coming with some heavy expenses besides that. Renting a van that can transport me, a Hoyer lift, my shower chair, and 2 other people to go with me. Gas, food, everything else. It's all going to round out to be about, we're guessing, we're at around $14,500 to $5,000. It is a major financial struggle for me to get this. I have started a GoFundMe. I'm at about $1,400 right now. I also take cashapp, but only one person has really used it. So I'm going to put my cashapp right here if you're interested. It is $Thunderduck with a capital T, capital D, 80. So $Thunderduck 80. I'll put my GoFundMe link in the description, as well as the Cash App. But this is my final big punch. This is my Hail Mary. This is my bottom of the ninth, 2 outs, bases loaded. Whatever you want, whatever euphemism you want to give it. This is that. If it is successful, I can go back for more treatments, and the second and beyond is not 11,004. It is 8,300, I believe. So about a little over $3,000 less. And the benefits of it, if it does work, on average, is about a 1.5 to a 2-point reduction off of the Kursky disability scale. For reference, right now I'm at a 9.0, which is bedridden. And if I go back a 1.5 to a 7.5, well, that's about where I was when I moved up here. At that point, I was still able to drive short distances, but I was able to drive. I had use of my right hand. I had limited use of my left hand. I was able to walk, I don't know, 30 yards or so. I was able to transfer. I was able to go to the bathroom on my own, able to cook. So, I mean, it was pretty good. I couldn't work. I really, yeah, I mean, I was already on disability at that point. But if I do that, and then I go back and do a second round, say 2 years later, and I've gone up, say, a point, and I do it again and it works, then I could go back a 1.5 again, and that would be a full 2 points back. And then I can keep doing it and buy myself time. Right now, I'm out of time. I think I've told you that my big plan is my son is staying with me now until the summer. He is my round-the-clock caretaker, and he just turned 16 last week. This whole video series was originally for him, and now he gets to experience my life round the clock. And he, cleans me, and he wipes my butt, and he cooks for me every day, every meal, except for my caretaker who makes certain things. But he likes to cook, so this is an opportunity to teach him how to. He's going to make a woman very happy with his cooking skills. But I have a caretaker. I finally got my catheter, and so now I had to go to hospice in order to get a catheter because my PCP said it's not warranted because it's just for convenience. And convenience of not peeing on myself and sitting in a puddle all day, yeah, it's pretty convenient. I'm filing a complaint with the medical board because my new doctor that I have now says, no, that's absolutely wrong. Yes, you don't give it to a person walking around for convenience, but you do give it to somebody who physically can't get to the toilet and can't stand on their own, which is my situation. So I got a new doctor. The doctor makes house calls, which is awesome. So I got my nurses that come out. I got him to come out. I have a shower girl that comes out and gives me a shower a couple times a week. These are things I don't want my son to have to do, so I do at least have services for that. But I don't know, I've got this slightly positive outlook. It's guarded. Depression is still there, but slightly more positive outlook. Fingers crossed, hopes. Maybe it's just the power of prayers I'm getting from everyone who knows about it and who's wishing me the best along my way. I'm terrified of a 15-hour drive to Chicago, sitting in this power chair that I'm sitting in now, 30 hours round trip. I don't sit in it that long now. It's just not as comfortable. And of course, I've always got bed sores on my butt, and driving on a bumpy car is not going to be fun. But anyway, so good stuff going there. It takes about 6 months for maximum correction, but they did tell me that if it starts to work, that within 2 months, I should start noticing better things with my fingers and my arm. Possibly the ability to lift my feet, because right now I can't. If I get lifted up to my feet, my son pulls me up to my feet to get transferred. He physically has to grab my legs and move them because I can't. My feet are like magnetically stuck to the earth. I cannot lift them up. So those things will come back. And maybe it's only a partial correction. Maybe I only get a point back, but something is better than nothing. And right now, the plan is for him to stay here till probably July, and then he's going to move home, and I'm going to move back to San Antonio with him. He's going to, of course, go to his mother's, and if this works, then I will be going to an assisted living where, because I'm on what's called the Advantage program here in Oklahoma and Texas, it's called, I think, Star Pro. I can get a discounted rate at about $800 a month to pay rent at an assisted living place instead of paying $3,500 a month. And then that will leave me money to pay my other bills. I still have a car payment I have to make, even though I don't drive anymore. And a couple other things. And then you'll be able to save money, be able to still have a life, and still be able to go do things, and save for Christmas or birthdays and stuff like that. If it doesn't work, and I'm at the level I'm at now, then I will be going to a nursing home where they do take all my money, and I get left with, I think, with like $50 a month for incidentals, because they supply everything. So that don't work. So this has got to work. This is my big my chance. And pray for me. Leave me some comments, please. If you're watching this, drop me a comment. Let me know that you're wishing me the best. Tell me to go to hell if you don't like me. I don't care. But I am filled with possibilities right now, and dreaming big. And I'm trying not to get my hopes up too high. I mentioned the date earlier, and this is just for reference, for kind of a story for Gabe. This is where I was crying doing the original video. Hopefully I'll get through this, and I'll try to make it a little more clinical and less dramatic. But tomorrow, October 1st, my other son would be 17. He would have been my firstborn, and he died in delivery with a cord entanglement that no one caught. No one was looking for it, I guess. On the 28th, we had gone in, which was his due date, 28th of September, 29th. And we had gone in for what would be the final doctor's appointment. And they told us everything looked good. The baby was going to be about 7 pounds. Yada yada. And we said, well, while we're here, can we go ahead and induce? We actually have everything in the car with us in case you would let us do it. And they said no, because if you induce, that runs the risk of complications like emergency C-sections are at a higher risk with inductions. And so if we do that, we scar the uterus. You may not have the ability to have children later. So it's better for first-time parents not to induce. So we took the doctor's advice and went home. 2 days later, on the 1st, I get woken up about 10 o'clock. I was working graveyard at the time, but I'd just gotten off work a few days before. I think the day before the doctor's appointment, I had gotten off and started my month of vacations that I was taking. And she wakes me up at 10 o'clock. I probably went to sleep at like 2 or 3. And she say, it's ready. And so I'm grabbing the camera. The car's already packed, so we're not in a rush. And we're taking photos, we're talking, we're laughing. I don't think we were videotaping, but we were taking pictures. And we get to the hospital. Everyone gets checked in. We get to the clinic, and they bring out the nurse was trying to check her and stuff, and then she goes, little kid's being stubborn and rolling around. I can't quite find them, and let's get the sonogram in here so we can get some measurement stuff. So they go in. I've been through a couple of pregnancies with friends and my sister, never as a father, and I had seen sonograms and them doing the sonograms. I kind of knew what I was looking at. Of course, always watching ER or stuff like that. So I'm behind the tech, looking at the monitor. Monitor's facing away from her, who's laying on the bed. And I think she was texting her mom or something, and the tech starts doing like his measurements and stuff, and I see an arrow and him type the word head, brain, I think left arm, and then I saw lungs, and then I saw arrow heart. And I know I'm looking at live video. He's not snapping pictures, so now I know I'm looking at a still heart. And I tapped him on the shoulder, and he looked up at me, and I kind of gave him the "you serious?" type of look, and he gave me a little nod. And so so she couldn't see my face. I walked over to her and held her hand, and I remember her saying something like, "Oh, he's going to be such a stinker, already hiding from the doctors," and stuff. And I was like, yeah, trying to keep a smile on my face, and not let anything onto her, let her hold on to every moment of happiness that she was holding on to as a mother at that point. And the nurse comes in, and she relieves the tech, and she does some more typing and stuff, and she goes, "Okay, I'll be right back, let me go get the doctor." And that's when Olivia finally goes, "What is wrong with my baby?" And I gripped her hand, and I didn't know if the nurse was going to say it or not, and the nurse turned around, eyes full of tears. Legally, I don't think she was supposed to be the one to tell us this, but she did. And the moment she let out the news, Olivia let out this blood-curdling scream and nearly ripped the back of my neck open, trying to pull me down and screaming in my ear, and I'm doing my best to hold it together. And it was surreal. Like, time stood still. The scream lasted forever. In the immediate, I don't know, I say about 30-45 minutes of just letting her cry, letting her ask the questions. We both pleaded. I don't know who we were trying to make bargains with. It wasn't God. He wasn't there. We were talking to the doctors and trying to find someone to blame. We were like, we wanted the induction 2 days ago. You should have already been out by now. This is your guys' fault. And once they got Olivia calmed down, I think they medicated her. I told Olivia I would make all the phone calls. And so I remember calling my parents first. I needed to hear Mama's voice. First one I called. I think that call lasted maybe 5 or 10 minutes. I said I needed to go and make some other phone calls. And she did, and she was trying to figure out how to get out to me. I was in California, she was in Texas. And so I get on the phone with my dad next, and I let him know. First time I heard my dad cry since his mother's funeral back in '99. At this point, me and my dad didn't have a great relationship. We hadn't seen each other in years. But anyway, he was supportive, and he paid for the cremation. And I called her parents. I believe I called her parents. She may have done that, but I think I called her parents, let them know. And I think I told her father. I don't think I could have handled talking to her mother. I said, "Bashir, there's been a serious thing here that I need you to relay to the family. I need you guys to get up here as soon as you can." They were in Phoenix. We were in I want to say we were living in Temecula at the time. We might have been living at Oceanside. The hospital we went to was in Marietta. And so I made those phone calls. Then I called my work, let them know what had happened. Oh, that's what it was. I only had 2 weeks of vacation, and the casino I worked for also offered 2 weeks of bereavement for immediate family. So I called and asked for that. That's how I got the month off, and just explained everything to them. So the hospital, was nice as they were and everything, they took these pictures immediately, these Polaroid crude pictures, immediately after the baby was born. And they're as beautiful as a baby as he was. These were not beautiful pictures. This was right after birth. He had been dead, I believe, for almost 24 hours or something like, or it was at least 24 hours by the time he was born. She thinks that he probably died somewhere around midnight that night before. She felt a really strong kick, and that was the last that she felt from him. So we got this little keepsake box, and it had the outfit that was put on him whenever they brought him to us, the little hat that they put on him. They gave the wristbands, the measuring tape, some paperwork, but like those little cards filled out with like height and weight. His weight was only, I believe, 4 pounds 9 ounces. So they were way off even on that. And she kept making this complaint that, he's been reduced to paper. He's just paper. That's all he is paper. Like, he's folders and keepsakes, and that's all our baby is. And I said, no. I said, we're going to make him more than that. He's going to be a living memory. So I remember going outside at one point to make a call, smoke a cigarette. And when I came inside, I stopped by the gift shop, and they had jewelry there. And I found these pendants. They had multiple of them, but I bought 2. They were sterling silver seashells, and it had a little place where you can engrave initials or name or whatever on it. But they were pretty small. So I bought 2, and I took one up to her, and I took her necklace off. I put it on her. I put one on mine. And I said, this is something. So we always have a piece of them. The first place we wanted to take him was the beach. That's where we had planned to go the day after we would get out of the hospital. And so whenever my mom finally made it out there, we had gone to the beach, and me, her mom, I think her brothers and sisters and stuff, we'd all gone out to the beach, and we were out by Oceanside Pier, and I found a perfect seashell. It looked just like the one we had our necklaces with, and I said, you know what? Since we're having cremated, let's stop right here where we're at. It's low tide, the sea is out, so let's bury a seashell right here. Say what we need to say. Have our little memorial service, just between us. We'll bury him here. When high tide comes up, he gets to play in the water. When it goes out, he's playing on the beach. All oceans are connected to all oceans, and all rivers run to an ocean. So no matter what ocean, beach we go to, gulf, or riverbed, it would always be like being able to go to his gravesite no matter where we were in the world. And up until I wasn't able to do so, about 3 years ago, on October 1st, I would always go out to the nearest beach or river. And I've said my prayers at multiple places, multiple rivers. I've been to the West Coast. I've been to the Gulf of Mexico, in Texas. I've gone to the beach in Mexico while I was on a cruise. I've gone to the beach in Wales, and I've gone to the beach in England. And always with that remembrance that no matter where I'm at, if I'm by the water, not a lake, but a river or an ocean, that all waters are connected, and I'm always going to be with them. It's always been a comforting thing. So that kind of helped. And then while we were at the beach, she had made some comment about not being able to remember where exactly his spot was. She wanted to know exactly where his spot was. So I looked up where we were at, and we were 7 pillars out from the beginning of the pier. And so I said, walk with me. And we took paces, right, wide steps. And we were 46 paces from that 7th pillar. So 746 became our personal roadmap that only we would know about. Now you do too. And you just don't know if it was north or south. So, if we ever left and came back, we could always come back out there and know exactly where our spot is. And when we got our urn, we had it done with not Old English, but this really pretty script. And we had a seashell burned into it, and the number 746 under his birthday. And so that 746 has always remained a kind of a story that even now, divorced for 14 years. Me and her around on the first, we usually still talk and talk about it. So always talk about 746. I've never, since we moved away from California, I have had no reason or ability to get back out there. But she does, because her family's still out there. So she does go out there and visit and go to that spot, which I'm happy she does. But anyway, just because of the date, I know this has nothing to do with MS, is part of my more personal part of my story. Sharing that with you, documenting it for Gabe. I'm glad I made it through without bawling my eyes out, and looks like we're going to save about 7 minutes of where the video was last time. So I do thank you for following along. Please subscribe, please like, please share. Again, if you can donate to my therapy, that'd be great. Again, I'm trying to hit 15,000 in the next 4 weeks. I'm at 1,400 right now. It's all going to get paid for, whether I get the donations or not. It's just, I'm trying to save for this, plus I'm trying to save for the move back to San Antonio. My parents have collectively already put over $100,000 into me in the last 2 years, building this house, building everything here for me. So please send me some support, send me some, not financial, if you can, great, but send me some love, some support, some comments. Let me know that you're rooting for me. Let me know that someone's listening to the end of this video. But you guys take care, God bless, and hopefully I'll be getting back to at least doing this weekly. Take care.